before we get back up and going is time for Halftime Panda. Say hello, Halftime Panda. Yeah, this is a very, very special boy. This guy is a great cat, and oh, you're looking around to get down, aren't you? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, no, he's been famous in past streams, and tonight he's a little surly. He was a pickup from the Bellevue SPCA, and he had been there with them about 5 months, I think. He was just people just weren't picking him up and adopting him, and so when we got him, he was actually free. Like he had, and fortunately, I believe the state of Washington has universal no-kill laws, so they can't be a kill shelter. And yeah, I know that was our question exactly. It looked like he has some medical problems that need maintenance, but honestly, it's just simply a matter of giving him the right food. And it's the sort of thing that looks worse on paper than it is in practice. Um, Honestly, cats are fussy enough that having an extra ritual step in trying to feed them is not really tilting the scales that much in terms of being overbearing as a challenge. So yeah, no, he was a free boy and has been worthwhile. He's also 6 years old and didn't come from a great home, so he was a little surly getting used to the place. You got your pets from the same place? Yeah, they've got good facilities there. I used to work at the no wait, it's the Humane Society here. Sorry, the SPCA is a separate organization. I used to work at an SPCA shelter for about 6 months, after having worked at a vet's office for about 6 months in South Carolina, and you can tell. It's kind of like a nursing home. You can kind of tell the quality of the facilities based off of how much urine you can smell. Sad and gross, but true. And the Humane Society here in Bellevue is quite clean. Smells good, and they've got good facilities. Aw, Shiro. Good cat. Senior cat. Your cat's a fine cat. So here is what I've got for my Fatal Frame 2 disc. This one actually has the packaging, and that's nice. And it also has a receipt for Game Crazy, cash transaction in Austin, Texas. Wow. When did I buy this? What's the date on the receipt? 9/4/2004. I actually know the trip that I took that I bought this on. Yeah, right there. I paid $40 for this. Actually, $43.29 with tax. It was on the same trip that I bought a friend a copy of Silent Hill 4. That's wow, long time ago. At 4:34 p.m. Yeah, Game Crazy is like any store that's not GameStop, now defunct. I like the disc art on Fatal Frame 2. I think this is much savvier, and while also being thematically appropriate, if you can kind of see there. So what they've got is, instead of the picture of the ghost looking menacingly at the camera, it has the circle of runes that power up as you focus on a ghost, and yeah, so this is like looking at the disc is like you're looking through the camera's perspective, and that's pretty cool. It's got a little butterfly there, and what looks to be the petals of a flower expanding outward from the center once you get outside the ring of runes. So yeah, overall very nice disc design. And the year on the Game Crazy receipt was 2004. Austin, Texas, 2004. Store credits valid for 6 months. Darn, they've expired. Yeah, give GameStop time. Well, especially now, right? Like this, if you can see on the box. I don't know if the camera's focusing, but it says Tecmo 100% games. Unlike Konami, they do not have real estate holdings or spas. FF2 and FF3, yeah. Yeah, I'm leaning toward FF2 as our next game. FF4 we're gonna do on stream, absolutely. But for Halloween, you know, you want like Halloween month, you want it to be impactful. You don't want to have to sort of like stumble over some awkward design choices. And Fatal Frame 2, I think, is the best in the series, so I think that's the way to go. And yeah, I thought when I see FF, I think Final Fantasy 2. It took me a second to parse. I'm like, well, I mean, Final Fantasy 2 and 3 were okay, but 60 inflation adjusted dollars. There's something vaguely contradictory about asking me if I want to start the game with default settings and then the default being no. Okay. I don't know what that means. If you get no, you get Fatal Frame 1. 2003. Actually, I'm curious. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think until, with very few exceptions, I don't think I've bought many games fresh from the box. Okay, so Fatal Frame 1 was 2000, 2001. This is 2003, which means this game had, at most, a 2-year development cycle. Which is kind of nuts, thinking about how long it takes to make a game today. Just gonna enjoy the title sequence for a bit here. No, you're right, Swimmy. They had the engine, so all they had to do was refresh the assets and update the way it plays.
Twin sisters have found themselves trapped in the lost village. On the day of the ceremony, the village vanished.
happened. No matter what happens, I'll forgive you. Mayu. Mayu.
I'm interested that they're, in some ways, just kind of cutting to the chase.
Hurry up and get Sai out of here.
And showing you the ritual right at the start. I guess they assume that if you're familiar with the first game, you kind of know the gist of what happens in terms of the high points of the story.
One sister kills the other.
I mean, yeah, this is the sort of thing that I think the first game would have waited till about mid-game to really reveal.
I was waiting. Kill me. Mayu. Kill me. We'll be together.
No, thank you. Yeah, I know the intro told the whole story. Like, I think this is actually one of the final cutscenes right here.
Where is my sister?
Don't look in there.
At least one of the game devs was oh,
Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly.
Kill me.
interesting. There's like a film sound effect there at the end. This is the tanker sequence. Okay, so yeah, let me catch up here. And yeah, okay, so wow. Oh yeah, that's right. They made an enhanced edition on this for the Xbox. I think that Silent Hill 2 did also, where they had the Born from a Wish scenario. Let's see if I can get it to.
Didn't we always promise each other
Oh, there we go. We're starting.
that we would always be together?
I mean, in its credit, MGS2 does have ghost photograph taking sequences.
We used to play here all the time. Yeah. All of this will be gone.
Oh man, this is lovely.
Is your leg okay? Does it hurt? It does a little, but I'm fine. Meow? Yes? Never mind.
Yeah, I remember how much space the photographs took up on the PS1 and PS2 memory cards for MGS1 and MGS2.
Mayu, about that time back then. Mayu?
I don't remember Mantis saying that about a memory card filled with pictures. That's really interesting.
Where are you going?
Whoops. Curse Borderstone.
No, stop! Wait! Mayu!
transition from day to full night is really good. Lets you know that you have absolutely wandered into something that you don't want. Okay. But yeah, no, they showed a lot of the story in the opening sequence, and I think it is getting into sequel territory where they kind of assume that if you play the first game, you kind of know what the hook is, and that drives the whole story. So why not show that to you and reveal that? But they actually showed a lot more than I would have expected, and probably more than even I, like as somebody, like if I were telling a story in a game, much more than I would have shown. Um, so that's interesting. Um, yes, now this game does look gorgeous. I think that the success of the first one uh, must have given them like leverage to start really making a franchise out of it. And yeah, the fortunately there are some differences in terms of presentation. I would hope there would be. I'm just gonna kind of curiously run the wrong way to see how far it will let me go and what that looks like. Past just disappears just after the statue that looks like guardian deities. Oh, that's interesting. There actually is something there. Let's look at the pause menu. Pause menu again uses the closed uh, paper screen motif. Some different UI effects. But not all different. Let's see. And we're still in 2D controls and still in the Killer 7 press button to run territory. A much more expansive environment. All of the environments, even the outdoor ones in Fatal Frame 1 were enclosed. Wow. That's I really like the color that they've got there in between the trees in the distance. This is a lovely shot. The first game sold 22K units in Japan in the first week. Was that good for the time? Seems good. Oh boy, Torii Gates.
Mayu? A lost village.
Also doing a good sequel thing by expanding the territory. So no longer just an estate, but a whole village.
A long time ago, there was a village here that disappeared during a festival. People in the woods are trapped by the village. Could this be that place?
Wonder what the time relationship is between this game and the first one. I know that Fatal Frame 4 is supposed to take place. If I talk to you, is supposed to take place a good like 10 years prior to Fatal Frame 1. But yeah, it seems like there are just like a ton of out of the way locales all over Japan, harboring secret rituals that without which hell will be unleashed on the earth.
I heard singing before, but there's nobody here.
Is this the path that I just came down? Let's go back up here. Oh man, this looks very similar to the stone that was outside of the Demon Gate in the first game. Oh, thank you, Swimmy. Okay, that looks like our way forward, and I'm actually curious to see what we find if we go back the path we came. Wind Waker was one of the top-selling video games from 2003. It sold 30K in Japan in its first week, so 22K is good, yeah.
There should have been a path here, under this arch. There should have been a path here, under this arch.
Oh, wild. This town just keeps bringing me closer and closing off my avenues of escape.
There should have been a path here, under this arch.
You're right, Ark. That games really have come so far along in terms of audience size and expectations. I wonder how much of the 2-year turnaround between the first game and this one owed to, like, the fabled Japanese games industry crunch. Not fabled, it's well known. But, you know, that development method, and or how much of it was just simply that games with existing engines were less resource intensive. Evening, Noel. It's good to see you. Oh, good. Well, I can, as far as something nice to listen to, my shrieks and shouts of being startled, I hope have enough of a cadence to relax you. Oh, wild. Oh, crazy. Wind Waker sold less its first week than Zelda 2 for the GBA. Oh, so 22K isn't that great. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's like it's a new IP, and I don't know how much Tecmo was known at the time for churning out new and original stuff. I mean, the only real Tecmo stuff that I know of from the PS2 era that I could name off the top of my head really is Fatal Frame and also Katamari Damacy. So, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I like the fuzziness too. The way that this is being sort of streamed also sort of captures some of that because rather than I am using I'm running it on original hardware and I'm sending it through a component cable. So this is an analog signal, so it preserves some of that quality.
Over there. It looks like a cemetery.
Is this game gonna let me go? No, I am blocked by both an invisible barrier and also who is my character? Whatever her name is, I am blocked by her better judgment. As many times as I roll my eyes and then start to ignore any element in the UI of a pause menu that tells me my character's name in a game where I do not change characters,
That village?
I find myself wishing it were here now. Oh yeah, yeah. I really like playing on original hardware. I mean, emulation is a really great way of making games accessible when it's just not practical to do so otherwise. But you know, games were made for specific systems and to display in particular ways, and being able to capture that, I think, gets you closer to the artistry if you are a purist about it, which I am a little bit. Not so much that I expected of others. I know that Mega Man 3, for example, in I think the Gemini Man stage has there are some pixels that represent stars, and if you watch it on a CRT, they flicker. Like there's something about the kind of white light that is being sent from the game that on a CRT it actually flickers, so you see the stars shine. But if you play it in an emulator, it's not running through the tube, and so they just appear like little gray-white stars. And component, RetroTink 2X, HDMI splitter, monitor capture card, laptop. Yeah, no, that's the chain that you have to go through to get original hardware stuff on there.
Wait!
You were like out racing me, like just like 5 minutes ago. Five pieces of paper and a photo inside. Geological surveyor missing. With the start of construction for All Gods Dam approaching, Masumi Makimura, 26, a geological surveyor dispatched to the area, has gone missing. Mr. Makimura went to the area to investigate the site that would be submerged once the dam was built, but hasn't been heard from 5 days. Oh my god, can you imagine how much more cursed a place would be to, I mean, this is like, you hear about building a mansion or a hotel on top of a, you know, former burial site, flooding a valley that has a cursed lost village in it? No. Bad times. I am generally a proponent of I'm generally a proponent of anything that preserves noise or introduces it in situations where it should be, but would not be generated digitally. Um, I like things that look terrible artistically. Search for Masumi Nakamura, surveyor missing since the 4th of this month, came to a close yesterday. Um, oh, so they stopped looking for after 10 days.
Whose is this, I wonder? Who else is here?
In distinction from the first game, it is kind of nice having a second character to justify making those passive observations to. That probably counts as a file. Found in the bag at the village entrance. So since it was a looks like a woman's handbag, I'm guessing that was hers, and she probably came in search of him, who I think is probably Makimura. Or Makimura, not Maka. Whoa! Oh, God, I hate it already.
I wonder if anyone's here. Hmm. Mio? Yeah.
Japanese R sounds need work? Yeah, it's been a while since I practiced them. Hello? It could be Makimura. Makimura.
Isn't anybody here? Should we go inside? Mayu? Mayu! What's wrong?
I don't want to kill anyone.
Oh, the pleasures of being a medium.
I don't know.
Alright. Gotta say, playing this in headphones is only slightly traumatizing. Because the sound design is very good. I'm actually remembering now the first time I played this. I was so scared that I had to play with GameFAQs up on my laptop because the light from the screen gave me something to focus on that was other than this fictional world. So this will actually you know, admittedly, this is also a way of playing it with somebody else over stream, so I don't have to be alone with it. Um, Good times. This combination of film grain and digital distortion effects to signify ghostly stuff. Yeah, they do that specifically when there is some sort of projection where, like, if you're seeing into the past or seeing somebody else's experience. VHS tapes are the most cursed objects. Actually, I was in Pike Place, the shopping center with the public market here in Seattle, and I was going through some shops, and at a dead end of the corridor, there was like this. It was just like a dead end, and at the end of the hallway there was this small shelf, and on it was just a ton of VHS tapes. All of them had, all of them were in sleeves, and all of them were shelved in such a way that they were in sleeves, and the butt side of the sleeve was facing out, so you couldn't see what was actually on the tape. And it looked like the most cursed thing ever. I went up to it and I looked through it, and I mean, it was all fairly innocuous stuff. A couple of documentaries on gastrointestinal distress, the effects of celiac disease on GI development. A lot of 90s comedy, and there was like a taped sign up there that said free, and I'm like, suspicious. So yeah, documentaries on. I took 5 of them. I was like, you know what? I wonder what's on these tapes. So, which is risky, but it turned out they were exactly what they were labeled as. They were documentaries. They were medical documentaries on the effect of celiac disease on gastrointestinal development. There was one that was entirely VH1 music videos, documentary about guns, and yeah, I decided to leave the other 35 cassette tapes there for somebody else's surprise. And yeah, so that was my experience with cursed VHS tapes.
Neo, don't go too far.
And when I went back to that dead end, I want to say a month and a half later, there was no shelf there. And it's like the free shelf was gone. So it's like it never existed. Every owner of this tape shall one day perish. Yeah, I mean, for the one that's one of them is titled "The History of Gun," not the gun, but the history of gun, and it was like a public television documentary on the history of firearms. And about a year after I had it sitting on the shelf, and it's still in a closet back there, like the label started to peel off, and I'm like, oh God, no, oh God, please don't have some sort of like Sanskrit writing on there, or just horribly, just like a dark marker smudge indicating that it truly is cursed. But it turns out that what is under the label is in fact another label that says the history of the gun. It's the most redundant thing in a different font. Most people taught to make the R sound wrong in Japanese. Practice the alveolar tap. So it's let's see, required to make the Japanese R sound. Say the words better and ladder. Ladder, rr, rr. Oh yeah, rr, rr, rr. That's a really good reference. Better, rr, 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 rr. Yeah, I had an old linguistics professor who said that walking by like phonetic acquisition classrooms makes you think like you're walking past a room where everybody's possessed. Because you're just making haunting sounds. Better, rr, rr. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be doing that all night. Better, rr. It reminds me of having to acquire the R in Latin, which was called, I think it's called the dog consonant, littera canina, which is because the R in Latin is a r sound, which I can only do on the front right of my tongue, because it sounds like a dog going littera canina. Oh, Ark, I hope you're not late to work. I'm glad you were able to join us for the time you did, though. Yeah, there's a certain range of consonant pronunciation that the tip of my tongue has a difficult time achieving. I've heard rumors about the Lost Village before. Long ago, a massacre occurred on the day of a ceremony, and the village was wiped from the map. Twin deity statues in the forest lead lost people to the village entrance. Honestly, I think I would rather remain lost. Once you pass through the gate, however, you cannot go back. The village eternally relives that night of death. The insane laughter of a woman is said to echo throughout the village. The only survivor of the massacre at the village was a lone woman. Well, thank you for coming, Ark. I hope to see you on Saturday, if you can make it, when we're going to do Evil Within 2, which I know is a favorite of yours. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing you then if you can make it. Um, yeah, I used to be better at these. I was largely self-taught, and uh, that appears to have stuck as long as I was keeping up with it. But now I am lazy. Oh. This is where we keep the giant kimono. Oh wait, there's... That's... Oh man, they use giant kimonos like barriers in this game, and I wonder if that's how they were actually laid out in these original sort of mansions. Sometimes I sense someone passing by the window. He carries a torch and mutters things. He seems to be searching for somebody, but it's not Masumi. In the distance I can hear some kind of sad ceremonial song being sung. They say that this village vanished on the day of the ceremony, and that day is repeated over and over again. Time loop.
I feel like we're being watched by someone.
Okay, just looks like storage. Oh, excellent, Sacred Water. Doesn't handle games that change resolution well. It's interesting. I wonder how you would be able to tell if it changed resolution. Pardon me, NPC. Elbow bump, elbow bump. Yeah, y'all get to see a much nicer version of this game than I do because it looks like crap on my TV. It is spread and not at all at the same resolution that you guys are seeing, just because of the way that it patches through. Interesting. Slightly fuller, more flickery image to something totally stable and chunkier. All right. I have to admit, I have a hard time visualizing the herbal medicine and how it is taken or applied. Like with the green herbs from Resident Evil, I can just imagine it either having some sort of like compress function, and that's sort of how it makes sense to me. But I don't really have like a visual frame of reference for these that makes that sensible to me. Whoever sees this, look out for me. I'm trapped in this village. Help me. Yeah, a lump. Oh, I don't like that camera angle at all. But man, that lighting, that's really interesting. Get back away from the corpse light. Thank you. Okay, this seems kind of dead-endy. What's my map look like? Yep. Those door opening angles terrify me because I'm always expecting there to be something on the other side. That insignia kind of reminds me of Cobra from G.I. Joe. Turns out the one causing all the ghosts was Destro. I always loved how Cobra Commander was always built up as the raspy-voiced villain, when it turns out Destro was the one who was the only competent one in the entire organization.
It's a bit cold.
Point blank feeling about this game so far? It is a little slower to introduce me to... It feels like it is a much slower burn introduction. Maybe because they know that I know what to expect. So they're like, okay, they know that they're going to fight ghosts. We'll give them more of a build-up to it. And it also feels like an emotionally more comfortable easing in, since I do have a companion here to offer commentary and to make me feel less alone. But I'm waiting for that rug to be pulled out from underneath me. Control-wise, it feels better, just very much slightly. There are some very subtle quality of life changes that they made to the controls that feel good, a little bit more responsive. The character seems to run more quickly. Definitely a problem in Fatal Frame 4. And yeah, I mean, heck, maybe one of the reasons why they've got like a big long spoiler-tastic intro is because the game is a slower paced affair. But I dig it. It's moving at a pace that is compatible with the speed that I play games at. Masami, it's me, Miyako. I came to look for you. Let's go home together. Together we can make it. Call for me if you find this. I'll be nearby. Miss you.
I wonder if anyone's really here.
Can I get down there? What's my map situation look like here? Okay, yeah, there is something over here. Isn't there? Okay, apparently it's not something I can access, though the atrium definitely seems like it's my place to go to. There are some stairs in the sunken fireplace room, so I'll try that. Don't leave, you've seen what's going to happen, that's right. Sorry, I'm just trying to feel my way to there we go. One of the things about the way the Fatal Frame games are designed that make you have to just sort of wander around a little bit is a lot of times the next place you need to go, that's a good shot, is indicated, like the next event is a ghost surprising you as you are going back through areas you've already traversed, so you kind of have to do a trust fall and re-explore the map. Is this, you telling me there's a door here? I guess not. Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Mia. What happened? There was someone over here.
This is new. How did I miss this?
Strange about this place.
Oh, I see. Camera obscura pointers. Oh yeah, this is something else they do with each new Fatal Frame game is they have to come up because the camera obscura was destroyed as a major plot point in the first game. They have to keep finding ways of inventing it. So there are all these folklorists all around, each one different and from the others and not in communication with each other, just making camera obscuras on their own as a hobby. Often find areas that I previously explored to be the scariest because they will never change from their stillness. It's true. They, like a fruit that has been juiced, will never have the sap of new exploration in them again. Yeah. I shouldn't be here. Video game existential distress moment. Lingering thoughts of individuals. Spiritual beings. Taking a photo of an unseen being has an exorcismal effect, but simultaneously creates a sort of link with them. If the camera obscura is used carelessly, these beings may even gain the upper hand on the user. Now that's an interesting twist that I don't think was in the first game, but is actually implied by the fact that Yae found the camera was taking pictures of ghosts and was eventually overwhelmed with them. Wonder if I can photograph the site at the heart of this village's forbidden ritual. If Dr. Aso were here, I'm sure he would be excited. Seijiro Makabe. Or Seijiro Makabe. See if I can get that tongue tap in there. Different shotgun. Shotgun in the first game was destroyed at the end. And this one is a replication.
That's...
This is the camera obscura. It takes pictures of impossible things.
Super cursed rock.
What was that? I can't believe so it's true. This thing is too dangerous.
Camera
Yeah, it sounds like the camera obscura has kind of a Ouija board effect.
obscura. Mio. What's that? Is someone here?
Believe me, lady, I'm feeling the same way. Two Japanese vowels side by side. I need to extend the vowel for another beat. Huh. Yeah, I learned off of Rosetta Stone, so I didn't actually have a human being to talk to tutor me on that, so that's useful information. Thank you. Man, that offset of the centering of the words basic camera operation is really ticking a few boxes in my brain. Oh my god, and it's doing it again, except it's offset in a different way. It's even offset from the one at the top. There's like all kinds of basic camera operations happening here. The camera obscura is a special camera that allows you to exercise spirits by taking photographs of them. When you face a direction where the spirit is, the filament at the bottom right of the screen to the top of the viewfinder will glow. Once you've located the spirit, raise the camera with the circle button. Okay, that's the same. Center it in your viewfinder. Okay, thank God they kept the R1 button shutter, because I think the R1 button for clicking the shutter is really cool, especially, though it might make less sense to people who are like younger players who never actually used an older camera with the button on the top. I guess newer modern digital cameras also do the same thing, but I think more people use their phones than they do actual dedicated devices. Tutorial fires. Oh, interesting. There's they've got a little bar in the upper right that shows me the reload progress now. Though, what I absolutely want to do is change the controls. Maybe I'll have to do that after this. I really want these controls to be standard FPS. Yeah.
Something is here. It's gone. Come on, let's get out of here.
Camera obscura, source of regrets. My flashlight penetrates that wall. I've got to say, the sound design in this is murderously better than the first game. They need foreshadowing to learn to use the camera because it would be the last thing you'd think of using against Murder Ghost. Yes! I agree. That, it is interesting that you are never attacked. You never have a moment of defenselessness where you're attacked by a ghost and have to run away with it before you get the camera. In both games, you have a camera before you're assailed. Yeah, playing this game with headphones on is a terrible choice. as a statement of how good it is. It's gonna run less here. Padlock with the family crest representing ginger on the door. Interesting.
Mia. Someone's here.
Bad times. Oh, is this back in a circle? Alright, I'm gonna save my game like a giant coward now. Silent Hill 3 had better audio design than Silent Hill 2. You know, I actually don't think I've ever paid attention to those games' sound designs. In headphones, at least. I'm curious, why do you say unfortunately for you? Is it just because, like, Silent Hill 3 is not a favorite? And you wish that quality had gone toward the game that you liked more? Okay. So... upstairs is haunted. Downstairs is haunted. Everything's haunted. There's a door here. That leads outside, though. Oh, I see. Silent Hill 3 became significantly scarier for you. Gotcha. Silent Hill, Fatal Frame 4's audio design has Jun Takada on it and Asafume. What's his name? They're both the Grasshopper dudes, right? And the sound design on that game is exquisite and terrifying. Okay, just a body on the floor, and that's fine. Or is it Masafumi Takada and June something else? I don't remember. They're the two, like, forever audio designers for Grasshopper. Where am I going now? Silent Hill 3 passed those footsteps definitely came from my home and not the game test. Yeah, Fatal Frame 1 did a little while ago. So that's where I got the camera obscura, right? Let me go back here. Did with some of the whispers. Definitely made me look over my shoulder. Coming there, kiddo. Actually, maybe I am supposed to take my cue from um, little sister and respect her wish to get the hell out of here. Oh, there she goes. Oh no.
Mew, look.
Oh man. Filament's telling me something is over here. I seem to have lost my quick turn button. Okay, I know where that is.
There's someone here.
It's like an injured man. That looks a lot like the six form face that I saw above the ritual rope table thing in the first game. So it sounds like our guy got cursed and then turned on his friend who came to rescue him. What's down here? Just a bunch of storage. Alright. This is now apparently important again. Oh god. Set up there on the ceiling. Some support beams. Okay. All right. All's well. Oh man. Ah, there we go. Ah! Game is extremely cursed. Oh, I missed. Ah, I missed it. Something I would very much enjoy would be a hack of this game's resource files and just a dump of all of the larger resolution item images. I like the stylized nature of them. Oh man. How much time has passed since I came here? How long will this night last? I can't take the darkness, it's driving me crazy. I have to get out of here. I have to see Masumi. Yeah, Time Zombie, I don't know if you're still listening, but one of the things that I always kind of struggled with in picking up Japanese is on longer words knowing where to place the stress, which syllable it belonged on. In the official strategy guide. Interesting. No, that's not a bad idea. I must be tired. If I start to relax, I pass out. Even in a crazy place like this, the darkness here is creeping into my dreams. Slaughter, rivers of blood, fallen people, a woman in a blood-stained kimono, insane laughter, the twin sisters calling out, "Don't kill me." The woman's laugh is seared into my mind. I don't want to sleep anymore. Yeah, I remember the strategy guide for the pro tips. I was looking when I was looking for the Evil Within comics for to show Arc a couple of days ago. I found my old Metal Gear Solid 3 strategy guides, strategy guide for Final Fantasy 7, Metal Gear Solid 1. Yeah, all those prima books that were not the boutique affairs that Future Press puts out for games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls now. Just those like real quick and dirty, you know, paperback magazine dimensioned books. A pitch accent, which we don't have in English. Interesting. Yeah, I remember when I was reading about how to pronounce Japanese, the instruction was to pronounce it as like a kind of like a machine gun fire, and also to keep just in terms of like continuing the syllables going without worrying about elevating pitch or stress, and also to kind of maintain sort of a flatness of the lips as a way of sort of like beginning to pick it up. But again, all of my instruction came from books and also Rosetta Stone, so I didn't like have an actual person instructing me. Pitch can change on each syllable, and pitch accent is different for every word. Interesting. I mean, this is something that I would definitely pay someone to teach me with my copious amounts of free time. No, 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 turn faster! Okay, we gotta change that in the settings. He was in the village. I can see him soon. I can't move. I'll wait here. He'll be back. He'll find the way out. If he comes back. Oh wow. That's a good use of blank pages.
She also became trapped here. She came into this house looking for her boyfriend. And then, where did she go? This place must be... Mio! Mayu?
Why?
No! Stay away!
Okay. Yeah, let me go back to talking about Japanese language. That'll help take the edge off that. Some patterns I can learn, but it's difficult to achieve pitch accent mastery. Yeah, interesting. Oh, man, I'd love to pick that back up. Charge gauge, capture circle, shutter chance. That's interesting. They call it a shutter chance in this, but I think it's called a zero frame in the other games. Shutter chance makes more sense in English. Zero frame has the alluring quality of a specialized phrase that is weird enough to remember and become almost catchphrasy. Blast back. Film to shoot. Shooting succession. Alright. No, oh god, the controls are weird. Where are you at? Killed my first ghost. Passed out. Lost my sister. Also, am I in the same room? Argonite. Spirit Stone radio. You can use the radio. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, these are power pellets. Set a timer for 5 minutes to start flashcard reviews. Can quit after 5 minutes. Huh, that's interesting. I mean, no, that's not a bad approach. There's a program, Anki, I think, that I used to use for flashcards for language pickup, and I'm sure that it exists on every platform just the same as it did back in like 2013 when I was last doing this stuff. That's not a bad idea. I remember when I was studying Japanese, I got tripped up on, I guess, what would be equivalent to prepositions and things like adjacent, across from, that sort of caught me up, and I didn't get back into it after that. Through the use of crystals in its circuits, this improved version of a crystal radio is able to tune into voices from the spirit world. If a person wears a crystal for a long time, their thoughts will remain within, creating a special type of crystal, a spirit stone. According to Dr. Aso, the radio can also pick up sounds from the spirit world, indicating feelings and intuition in a similar manner to the sympathetic phenomenon that occurs between twins. I can have a sibling rock. The ceremony master, Mr. Kurosawa, gave me a very warm welcome. The village has no chief. The ceremony master presides over the village. I wonder if this village was founded by people who wanted to preserve their sacred rituals and festivals. Most notable among all gods' folklore is the Gate to Hell legend that has been passed down for years. It is an archetypal tale of a gate or hole that marks the border to the world of the dead, also called Hades, the underworld, or the netherworld. It is a forbidden place that is feared and hated, but it is also worshipped as well. The idea of hell has been a core belief of humans since ancient times. This village supports the theory that the belief is universal. The forbidden ritual regarding this gate to hell that takes place here is something no one is allowed to see or speak of. The strict taboo is probably the result of a ceremony concerning the border with hell coming closer to the living world. Yeah, there are also, I know that in sort of Western spiritualist mystic traditions, not so much philosophical mysticism, but practical mysticism of days. Actually, Halloween is one of them, when the veil that separates different realities is supposed to be thinner, allowing greater communication. So that's interesting to see that here as well in the folklore. Villagers lead a simple life. Deep in the mountains, they struggle to forage food for their daily meals. The village has little contact with the outside world. They continue to practice the ways of old, frozen in time. Yeah, I'll pick up Anki. I can still read Kana of both stripes, and yeah, that's not a bad idea. In fact, when I was still playing Metal Gear Online, I would play it on the Japanese servers because the Japanese players seemed to understand the game's design a little better and were more fun to play with. And with what little kanji I knew, and also the kana that I knew, I was able to interact with them, or at least understand them. What, did I lose you? Oh, I guess. No? It's, what am I looking at here? Ooh. Alright. Where's my map? I think now might be a pretty good time to save the game here.
Mayu! I'm sorry. I have to go. It's calling me.
Oh, whoa. Controlling Mayu now. Having me play Mayu running away is a pretty good choice. It's also strikes me that having her limp is a very good visual signifier when the visuals are fuzzy.
Mayu.
Alright. Let's grab whatever this nice and shiny is and save the game. Slow power-up lens. Slows down the movement of a spirit. Shows the remaining HP of the closest spirit. Oh, okay. I think it's interesting when games force you to find items to get basic UI information. I think Symphony of the Night was the first game that I knew of that did that. And yeah, if you streamed your Japanese practice, I would definitely watch. I think it would also give me inspiration to pick up my own, because one of the other reasons why I fell out of it was I was studying it on my own. Oh god. What? Oh no. Oh no, I just wanted to save my game. This wasn't part of the deal. Come on, camera, charge up. Why is this not working? Not happy. Curious why this isn't working. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's knocking her back. Whoops. It also takes a picture. Moonstone. Spirit orb. Great. Nothing else in the kimono box. And after that heart attack, that is a fine time to save the game. Oh man. I've got to tell you, this game is giving me the willies in a way that the first game didn't quite. I think there's something about the atmosphere that's succeeding a little bit better. But this is actually a pretty good time to call it for the night. We're going to pick up with more Fatal Frame 2 on Tuesday of next week, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you follow the channel, you'll get a notification when that goes up. And on Saturday, we're going to start the beginning of a playthrough of The Evil Within 2, a personal favorite and one that I know that regulars of the channel like as well. So that's going to be a really good time. So, Space Hamlet, Time Zombie, and Noel, it's great to see you out here. I hope you come back again. And, yeah, everyone have a great night, and I hope to see you again. Now to watch Qui-Gon and permanently cement the fact that I will never sleep again.